St Paul's Knightsbridge is one of those Victorian Anglo-Catholic churches that looks fairly restrained from the outside, but inside it's a complete world of colour, ritual and storytelling. The whole space feels calm and richly textured, warm Gothic arches, deep reds and gold, and that quiet sense of devotion that settles over everything. Nothing here shouts, it's all gentle, deliberate and full of meaning. The chancel draws you in slowly, layer by layer, colour by colour, with Bodley's rood screen and the carved reredos glowing at the heart of the sanctuary. Along the walls, a Victorian narrative tile frieze. They're hand-painted Victorian ceramic tiles, created by Daniel Bell, part of the Bell and Almond workshop, installed in the 1870s as part of the church's Anglo-Catholic visual program. They form a continuous narrative cycle, which is rare and extremely cinematic. Between each of the tile panels sits one of the Stations of the Cross, so the whole frieze becomes this gentle rhythm of story and devotion, scripture in ceramic, prayer in brass, all the way around the nave. And of course above each of the tiles is an unbelievably beautiful stained glass window. These tiles, however, belong to a wider movement in Anglican history, the Oxford movement. In the 19th century, a group of priests and thinkers pushed the Church of England back towards beauty, symbolism and a deeper sense of the sacred. You see it everywhere here. Colour used as theology, devotion expressed through craft, and the altar restored to the centre of the building. St Paul's Knightsbridge is one of the clearest London examples of that shift, a church shaped by that renewed imagination. Now the sanctuary here is the real focus of the whole building. Everything draws your eye forward, the colour, the arches, the light, all leading to the high altar. It's framed by Bodley's rood screen, and beyond it the reredos rise in carved stone, full of quiet detail that only reveals itself when you stand close. The altar itself sits highly elevated, giving the whole space a sense of depth and procession. It's the kind of sanctuary that belongs to the early Anglo-Catholic revival, rich, devotional and unapologetically centred on the Eucharist. You can feel that shift in emphasis the moment you look east. This is a church built around the altar, not the pulpit. There's a softness to the colours here, warm stone, touches of gold, the glow of candles, and it gives the sanctuary a stillness that feels almost suspended. Even when the church is empty, the altar feels alive, as if the whole building is quietly waiting for worship to begin again. Tucked off to the side is a small chapel, one of those quiet corners that Anglo-Catholic churches do so well. It's a more intimate space, set slightly apart from the main rhythm of the nave, and everything here feels scaled for personal prayer rather than public worship. The colours soften, the light drops and the decoration becomes more focused. A single altar sits beneath a carved or painted backdrop, and the whole space feels like a pause. There's a gentleness to it, a reminder that these churches were not designed just for grand liturgy, but for a quiet moment of faith, lived close to the altar. Just nearby sits the font, and it's actually older than the church itself. Carved in 1842, a year before St Paul's was consecrated, it carries biblical scenes around the bowl and feels like an early anchor point in the building, a reminder of the parish's very first days. This was also the first London church to fully embrace the Oxford movement, that quiet 19th century revival that brought colour, symbolism and sacramental beauty back into Anglican worship. And tucked away inside is a quiet memorial to the women of FANY, agents who served in the silence during the war. Just one more story held gently in these walls. It's a church that rewards silence. The longer you stand here, the more the detail begins to speak. In the end, what stays with you isn't any single feature, but the atmosphere, the colour, the quiet, the sense of devotion held in the walls. St Paul's Knightsbridge isn't a loud church, it's one that works on you slowly, the longer you stand in it. Thank you so much for watching the Pew Review. Massive thank you to everyone who's liked, commented and subscribed in the last few weeks. I really appreciate it. See you on the next one.